Every great mobile game you've ever been hooked on started as just a simple idea. The real trick isn't having the idea. It's about turning that spark into a polished, addictive game that people are genuinely excited to download. So let's break down how that journey from a vision in your head to a playable reality actually happens. And we're not talking about a small-time journey here. The mobile gaming market is massive, generating over $100 billion every single year. That awesome idea you have, it isn't just a fun little side project. It could be your piece of a huge, thriving industry. But if the opportunity is that big, you gotta wonder, why do so many amazing ideas just fizzle out? Why do they never make it to the App Store? What's the real, honest difference between a dream and a download? That's the big question we're gonna answer, and it all starts with the first major hurdle every creator has to face. Let's call it the wall of complexity. It's that moment when your brilliant, simple idea suddenly smacks right into the harsh reality of development. And believe me, it can feel totally overwhelming. This is the exact spot where countless amazing game concepts are just left behind. And this wall, it's built out of some really common, really frustrating stuff. You've got the technical hurdles of coding, you're staring at a dizzying list of tools and game engines trying to figure out which one to pick, and then there's that gap. That huge, frustrating gap between the incredible game playing in your head and the clunky, buggy thing on your screen. So how do you get over that wall? Well, the key isn't just about finding someone who can code. It's about finding a partner who thinks differently, someone who can be your guide on this journey. And the secret, it doesn't start with code. It starts with one single, really powerful question. And here it is. It sounds simple, but this question changes absolutely everything. What emotion should players feel? Before a single line of code is written, this player-first approach defines the entire experience. Are we going for heart-pounding excitement, creepy tension, the pure, simple satisfaction of a puzzle solved? Answering this is how you find the soul of your game. And this really gets to the core difference. See, the standard way is just writing code based on a list of specs. You get a product that, works. But when you start by focusing on player emotion, you create an experience. You create something that pulls people in and makes them say, okay, just one more round. That's the difference between a product and a passion. And this whole philosophy, it applies to every single genre out there. We're talking casual and hyper-casual games where every little tap and swipe has to feel just right, super satisfying, to keep people coming back for more. Or take horror and survival games, where the entire goal is to create that genuine tension, that feeling of dread. You do that with smart AI, with atmospheric lighting, with sound design that really gets under your skin. Then you've got your endless runners and action games. Here it is all about performance. Even a tiny millisecond of lag can completely ruin the fun. So the focus has to be on rock-solid responsive controls and gameplay that is just buttery smooth. And yeah, even in those super deep and complex simulation games, where you might be managing all these intricate systems for character customization or world building, it all has to feel intuitive and, critically, run flawlessly on a phone. Okay, so with that player-first mindset locked in, what does the actual path from your idea to the App Store look like? Well, it's not some big mystery. It's actually a really clear, manageable journey that we can break down into 5 distinct phases. It's a 5-phase journey. It kicks off with discovery and planning, where we nail down the concept and make sure it's solid. Then we jump into core development. This is where we build the fundamental mechanics and, most importantly, make sure they're fun. After that, it's all about adding content and polish, followed by some serious testing and optimization, and finally, the big launch and all the support that comes after. Now, of course, no journey is perfectly smooth, right? There are always going to be tough problems that pop up along the way. But having a partner means you've got proven solutions ready to go for the most common challenges that creators just like you run into. The number one problem, the one we hear all the time, my game runs so slow. And let me tell you, lag is the absolute killer of mobile games. A game that stutters, a game that drains the battery, it's a game that gets deleted instantly. So the solution is you have to think about performance from day one. It absolutely cannot be an afterthought. Building with a performance-first architecture means every single decision, from how the code is structured to how assets are managed, is made with the real-world limitations of mobile devices in mind. Okay, here's another huge one. That feeling of just paralysis. You've got this amazing vision in your head, but the technical side of things is just a total fog. You're thinking, I have this great idea, I have no idea where to even start. And the answer to that is a crystal clear development roadmap. Here's the best part. You don't need any technical knowledge to get started. All you need to bring is the vision for what you want the game to feel like. The roadmap takes that feeling and translates it into a concrete step-by-step plan. And finally, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, trust. It's a really unfortunate reality of this industry that a lot of people have had bad experiences. And this is so important because you simply cannot build a great game without a solid foundation of trust. So how do you build that trust? With something I call radical transparency. This means instead of waiting months for some big reveal, you get regular, playable builds of your actual game. You can see the progress, you can feel the progress, and you're giving feedback every single step of the way. No smoky mirrors, no surprises. So when you put all of that together, that player-first philosophy, a transparent process that solves these really hard problems, that's when it finally happens. That's when you reach the destination, turning that dream of yours into a tangible reality. And what does that reality actually look like at the end of the day? Well, you get complete ownership of all the source code, no licensing fees, no being locked in. You get builds for both Android and iOS. The game goes through comprehensive testing to squash all those bugs, and you even get free support after the game is delivered, just to make sure everything is perfect. Because really, at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to hand over a folder full of code files. It's about crafting an experience, something that actually matters to players, a game that becomes a small, joyful part of their daily life. You know, every single successful project out there started with someone just like you deciding to take that first step. Your game is waiting to be built. Your players are out there waiting to discover it. So the only question left is, are you ready to create something they're going to absolutely love?